Hi everyone, this will be my 10th video and I thought it'd be a good point to introduce myself to the channel. My name is Dominic and I'm the creator of this channel, Concept Machining. I have a small shop at home with a manual mill and a lathe, which you can see in my workshop build video. With this channel I hope to bring you along on my projects, which will hopefully entertain and demonstrate how things are made. This is my first time narrating video and I probably won't narrate all of my future videos and will more likely only narrate the ones that need more explanation than the video can convey. Maybe you could let me know if the narration is an improvement or not. My current project is underway, but I had to order some quite crucial materials for the project and I didn't realise they were coming from China. So I've got about a week or so to kill. So instead of getting in my wife's way for a week, I thought I'd learn a new technique. And as the name of this video suggests, I'm going to be learning how to cut gears. And what I have here is a set of 8 involute gear cutters for cutting, well, involute gears. I should probably say that I'm not going to teach you the ins and outs of everything about this, mainly for two reasons. One, I don't know the ins and outs of it, I'm literally learning right now. And second of all, there's people way more qualified on YouTube to teach you. Specifically a channel called This Old Tony. He's done a great video series on cutting gears, so I would highly recommend checking that out. To go along with these cutters, I also have an R8 arbor here. This will hold the cutters. It's quite good quality for what it is, to be fair, what I paid for it as well. This locking nut here you undo, and on here is a keyed shaft which you place the cutters on. I'll also be using this dividing head here, which is a 40:1 ratio, which is an important bit of information when we come to figuring out the divisions needed to cut the teeth. Well, that's enough of me babbling on for a minute. Here's a 30-second preview of the entire process. I hope you'll stick around and see if it's a complete failure or not. Okay, so the first important bit of information I'll need is to know the OD of the blanks I need to make. So now I want to make a 35 tooth gear and a 20 tooth gear. So first of all I need to know the module, which in my case is module 1. And the formula for this is quite simple, it's times the number of the teeth that you're going to cut, which in my case is 35. So 35 teeth, and then it's plus 2, or plus 2 teeth. Because it's a module 1, it's quite an easy equation. It's just 35 plus 2 times 1, which is 37 millimeters. So my first blank is going to be 37 millimeters. And the same formula applies to the next one. So I want a 20 tooth gear. So I need module 1 times 20 teeth plus 2. So again, in my case, it's 20 plus 2 times by 1, which is 22. So those are the size of the blanks that I'm going to need. Now to know the rotations I'm going to need on the indexing plates, I'm going to be using this book here. It's called the Engineer's Black Book. It's a very useful book. I highly recommend getting one if you haven't got one. It's got more information than I'll ever need, and it's got me out of a few tight spots before. So I'd definitely recommend getting one of those. Now in this column here, this is the amount of teeth that you want to cut. This column here is the number of holes in the indexing plate that you need. This column here tells you how many rotations you need to do with that plate. And this column here tells you the amount of extra additional holes you need to do on that plate. So as I know I want to cut a 20 tooth gear and a 35 tooth gear, I'm going to use this, which is 20 tooth there. I can use any indexing plate. I need 2 full rotations. Okay, for the 35 tooth gear, I'm going to need the 49 hole indexing plate. I need to do 1 full rotation plus an additional 7 holes. I'm going to be cutting these gears out of brass. It's a fairly forgiving material and it seems to be the go-to when people are making gears for the first time. Okay, so the first thing to do is to make the gear blanks. Okay, so this is the 35 tooth blank. This is 37mm with an 8mm reamed hole in the centre. And this here is the 20 tooth blank, which would be 22mm, again with an 8mm reamed hole in the centre. We also made up this arbor here, which has an 8mm spigot on it, which would be a very nice snug fit for the 8mm reamed holes. There's also an M6 threaded hole in the centre for an M6 bolt to lock the blank together with the arbor. Right, here's the cutters I'm going to be using. This is the 17 to 20 tooth, obviously it's at the end of the range for the 20 teeth that I'm going to cut. And here's the 35 tooth cutter to cut in the 35 tooth gear. Quite easy, just put them on the arbor, you just undo the locking nut, take off a couple of the spacers, place the cutter in place, and then put the spacers back on and tighten up the locking nut. Simple as that, really. Okay, over to the dividing head. This is the 49 hole indexing plate, as you can see by the 49 holes at the top. So what I have to do is set the sector arm, the first sector arm, to the first hole. Could be any one, to be fair. And then I've got to count 8 holes over. That's the first hole, and then 7 additional holes. So I'm going to count over there, and I'm going to bring the second sector arm into place. So just double check at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, so now I'm happy with that. I'll lock that off. I'm just going to double check again. So I've got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 holes, just so it didn't move. Make sure it didn't move. Right, so I'll put the spring-loaded pin in the first hole, and I'm going to count 1 full turn, and then 7 holes, and move the sector arm. And let's repeat the same process. First hole plus 7 extra holes, and then move the sector arm when I'm finished. Now I'm going to touch the cutter onto the top of the blank. My cutter is 4mm6, so I'm going to touch on, move 2mm down, which is half the cutter. Then I'm going to move 18.5mm down to make sure that the centre of the cutter is on the centre line of the part. Okay, I'm going to lock the blank into place with the M6 bolt. Okay, I'm going to touch on the blank with the cutter, and I'm going to set my 0, and then I'm going to go in 2.5mm, which for module 1 is a whole tooth depth. Okay, well that's the first tooth cut. So now I'm going to do, like I said before, move 1 full turn plus 7 holes, and then move the sector arm each time. So at this point I nearly messed up and I forgot to move the sector arm, so just showing you again how easy it is to just make sure you keep on track of it. this is the point where it all comes down to where you know you've messed up if the last tooth doesn't line up. Thankfully in my case everything lined up fine, and that was my first successful attempt and first attempt at cutting a gear. I was quite happy with that. So now we're going to move on to cutting the 20 tooth gear. But yeah, I'm quite happy with how it turned out. No mistakes made, which is good. That's the best result I could have asked for. There's quite a few burrs, so I need to sort them out obviously, but for a first test I'm quite happy. Right, so now I'm moving on to 20 tooth gear. I'll load this into the arbor. I need to change the cutter now to the other one. So this now I'm loading in the 17 to 20 tooth cutter. Same process as before. So again, I'm touching off, setting 0 on my DRO. And again with the module 1, it does change with different modules, but for module 1 it's 2.5mm full tooth depth. And there we go again. So again with the first tooth cut, as it said in the book, I need to do 2 full turns of the indexing plate and make sure I go back in that same first hole, and then just carry on. Thankfully there's a lot less teeth on this gear. Okay, I'm on the last tooth now, and luckily everything looks like it's gone okay. This one was quite easy to be fair. Doing 2 full turns was quite a simple thing to follow. That's done. I'll remove that from the arbor, and yeah, quite happy with that. Again, a few burrs, but easily sort out. And luckily let that mesh together quite nicely. And yeah, it looks really good. So all in all, for a first attempt I was quite happy with that. Didn't make any mistakes, got it right first time, so there's no scrap for the scrap bin today. And yeah, I might use these gears for a future project, but for now it was just a good little test for me to learn a new skill, and I think I've learned quite a lot from doing this. Well, thank you for joining me on this gear cutting expedition. I've definitely learned a lot. I hope you did too. The main project will be back underway very soon as these materials arrive. Maybe let me know if the narration of this video was an improvement at all. I don't think I'll be doing every single video, but I'm sure there'll be videos that need more explanation. I'd like to give a massive thank you to my subscribers, it's really appreciated. And yeah, I'll see you on the next video. Take care.